Hello everybody, welcome once again to Curious Crafts. I am having to juggle everything here. I'm surrounded by stuff and if I jiggle the camera I apologize now. Welcome to the third and probably final episode of creating the scatter for the plane of water. As you can see, I have set up quite a few things to show you. Very excited because I worked on one I couldn't resist. Worked on one yesterday and I really love the way that turned out. I used this called cloudless apple barrel paint to dry brush the rocks that we carved and painted in previous episodes, and added some of the plastic foliage that I purchased off of an online shopping site. It was a lot less expensive there than at my local retail department store, and I just love the way it all came together with that. So we're going to finish the rest of those today, but I wanted to share with you a couple other things. The Banana Brothers are continuing in the plane of Earth. They did not finish it last night. Thank you, T-Girl. Hey, if you like what you see, do the command smashing. I hope I did it correctly, and then I'll know. Then I'll know to look over at chat and see what you say. But they did not finish the plane of Earth last night, so they're going to continue that next Tuesday, and then the following Tuesday, hopefully they'll be able to, if they survive, of course, go into the plane of water, and that's the train I'm working on this week. I have completed the base. It was so simple that I didn't want to stream.
Smashing.
Thank you. There's Sir Mimsy telling you smashing. The base was very simple. As you can see, it's just a 30 by 20 inch piece of foam insulation, and I marked it off in inch grid, and then I gave it a base coat of territorial beige paint, which is sort of an inside joke. It's a paint I always use. It's Apple Barrel brand, and I mixed it with a little bit of water and some Mod Podge, and that helped give it a good surface and got into the cracks so that the grid could show. Hey Dust! Glad you could join us today. No spoilers for the Banana Brothers, because this is where they're going in a couple of weeks. Then I added, once that dried, that Mod Podge layer, I sponged on some, I don't know, sandy colors. It's like 3 different colors of sand color. I don't even remember what I used. Probably antique white, khaki, and some others. So that was the base, and so I finished that already. It's kind of buried under all this. I also wanted to show you, I think I've shown this before when we were working on it. Clover and I helped, she helped me make all the different portals into the planes. This is the inspiration for the plane of water. That's how they're going to get in. They have to dive in. I've got some shells here that we can add to our terrain pieces. And these are the ones that I purchased from that online store. And they have these really heavy bases because, of course, they're for aquariums. And I might use some of these bases, I might not. And what I wanted to show you, so I could clear some of this out, is the ones that I didn't use. They have a really nice, the ones that I pulled off here, a really nice heaviness to them. Of course, they have to sink to the bottom of an aquarium. And I have these bottle brush trees that I use in terrain, but they're so lightweight that they're always toppling over. So because they have this hole in there drilled where the foliage went, I thought I would take these trees and attach them in there to give them a little bit of weight. So that's recycling at its best. So I may use some of them, I may not. But let's get started with the project today, which is dry brushing. Before I clear it all off, two more things. I have found a picture that I like. You can see it here in the background, right here. I printed it out, and it is on a, let's see if I can show this to you. It is on a 30 by 10 inch foam with an an L bracket there holding it up, and this is how I do the right and left and back of the map when I stream. And this gives the depth of the map for the players. There's plenty of behind the scenes pictures that you can see on my Twitter that shows some of the various behind the scenes maps that I've done. And the last thing before we get started is I've had this piece for a while. I haven't used it yet. I may not use it for the plane of water, but I found this at a pet store. It is an aquarium piece, and I thought it was the perfect size for Dungeons and Dragons. And it would be good underwater as an old abandoned temple or something, or you could use it above ground in a different one. But I thought it looked perfect for this, and so you can find some really good deals and buildings at a pet store or the pet department. So anyway, let's get started with painting. I'm gonna move the base so I don't get the blue paint on it. As I explained yesterday when I worked on the painting the stacked stones there, I use bits of tablecloth cut up into small sections for my drop cloths, and it seems to work out very well. I get the ones with the flannel backing because that gives a little extra weight to it. Okay, let's get started. The brush that I'm using, oh, now I've made a big mess, believe it or not, is a very inexpensive makeup brush, probably from the dollar store. And I don't ever wash it, I just let it dry, but it's for dry brushing. And if you don't know what that is, we're about to show you. Get all of our pieces here. So what you want to do is you want to get the paint on. Oh, I hope I have enough of this. Let's do a little bit at a time. Also, if you care about helping me decide what monstrosity our banana brother should face in the depths, please feel free to comment. I have a couple of ideas, and I'll show you one of them. Let's get this over here in a bit. I jokingly thought it would be funny to sort of do a Little Mermaid villain scenario with a large octopus humanoid anthropomorphic, if that's what it's. The Kraken. I don't know if I want to do a Kraken. They will be, I think they will be level 11 by then. So the CR should be, they're overpowered, honestly. So the CR should be between 13 and 20 with lair actions, perhaps some legendary actions. They're pretty adept players and know how to fully take advantage of their roles. So all I'm doing with this is I'm putting the paint on the tip of the brush, and I'm actually getting rid of a lot of it, and then gently brushing it on all the edges so that it kind of highlights the edges. And I went with the blue, of course, because I wanted it to kind of highlight being underwater, the blueness of the water. And it's really very, very easy to do. And if you mess up, just repaint it, let it dry, try brush it again. No big deal. The idea though is to catch the corners, the edges, because that's where the highlights are going to be. Okay? Easy peasy. It is the garnish of painting techniques. You're right, Dust. I mean, just look at the comparison between the two pieces. Let's see if I can angle that correctly for the camera. That's very matte gray and just does not have any kind of highlights to it, whereas this looks more like underwater stacked stone. At least what the idea of what I was going for. It is warm here in the ATL. I had my window open, but it got warmer, and the neighbor is doing some sort of handiwork over at their house, so it got noisy also. There's some ASMR for you. A lot of this is going to be covered up with the foliage, so I'm not too worried about messing up or putting too much on a spot or too little. Actually, too little would be worse than too much, because then it would just look like it wouldn't have that depth of color to it. I'm blocking it with my hand, sorry. Camera angles. Camera angles. Well, I haven't thought about the coral. I know I jokingly called it a coral reef. I don't have any coral. So, suggestions? Maybe some sort of tube? Like a straw, maybe? I don't know. What do you mean, Don't ask me if you're not willing to come up with some solutions, buddy. Honestly, they're gonna, this in the background, they're really not gonna have time to do a lot of viewing of the scenery. I plan to throw something at them right away. You're drunk? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's nighttime over there. Okay. I made these all different sizes and heights. Some to go on the edges, some to go in the corners. Hey, Chief! What's up? You really caught Daros unawares last night with your raid. He was not prepared. He even joked pre-stream that he needed to think of a raiding song. Oh no! Hope you feel better soon. Sorry that you're sick. His raid songs, he's so funny. He cannot carry a tune in a bucket. He really cannot. He is a terrible singer. I am too, frankly. I'm a terrible singer. You do not want to hear me sing. I mean, even at parties I mouth happy birthday. Looks like that little bit of blue might get us through all this. I might want to add a little bit more though. I thought about adding some neon blue to it as well, and then use some blacklight. I still might do that. I think that would look really cool. Yeah, Dust got to hear a raid song. Dust guested on the Banana Brothers as a patron, a high-level patron. That is a quirk? I think I'm using the wrong word there. It's a quirk? It's a perk! Words, Qyjari, words! It's a perk of being a high-level patron. You have an opportunity to guest as a player. Either good player or bad player. Oh, I hate tummy issues. Ugh, I totally sympathize with you. Ugh, that's the worst, especially when it affects your sleep. Hope you're getting some rest today then. Oh yeah, well, antibiotics can cause tummy issues too. I know that. Maybe just for me. I'm no doctor. But sometimes stronger antibodies can give you oh, that's a lot of blue on that one, but you know what? I like it. I may have to go back and add more blue to the other ones. It's almost like that caught a glimmer of light from above. Oh dear. Girl talk, Dust. Girl talk. Huh? She meant my. He's drunk. I am lucky I don't have that problem anymore. Woohoo! Except I do have the problem of menopause, so woohoo. For those of you joining us, this is not a female issue stream. We're crafting. But good friends can talk about anything, right? That's right, Dust is in the sciences, so he's cool. My arm keeps sticking to the vinyl tablecloth. Sticky and hot here. Yeah, I do like the way this blue has compared to the other ones. I think I'm going to add a little bit more blue to those. Definitely. What's nice about the dry brushing technique is I don't have to wait until I don't have to wait for it to dry. It's pretty much dry as it goes on. I will need more blue. So then as soon as I get done with this last one, I can go start adding the... Oops, that's too much blue. I'm not going to need all that. I'll have to add that color to my list. I don't have any more of this one. Oops, still working on this one. Yeah, I do like it, the with the more blue on it. Happy little mistakes, as Mr. Ross would say. If you like what you see, you can use the command smashing. It's on a bit of a cooldown, but that'll draw my attention over to chat as well. If you have any comments or suggestions or questions. Plus we get to hear Sir Memsy. Oh yeah, I like that. Look at the top. And it really catches the edge there too. Alright, let's go back and do some of these other ones with some more color here. Yeah, is it not working? It might be on cooldown. I thought 5 minutes had gone by though. It's only a 5-minute cooldown. Should work. I don't know why that didn't. Maybe because of the question mark.
Simply smashing.
There we go. Thank you. Plus I get a compliment. Did you guys hear that? I was hoping it would come through on the audio. Yay! Finally getting my audio files fixed. I went through my PC and completely, you know how you do, you go in and clean up all of your files and then you can't find anything. And I forgot to go into Streamlabs and OBS and change all of the file directions, like where the files are located, because I had moved them so they had the incorrect file path. Oops, oopsies, as Squid would say. Oopsies. All right, this one for sure, and I'll go back and do the one I did before carefully because I don't want to get it on the foliage I've already painted there. I was very productive today. I went ahead and painted 3 more 6-foot shelves, or pieces of wood I should say, that I'm creating into shelves to add more of my terrain to. I'm running out of room on my terrain shelves. And this was the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know where I would put these, so I needed at least one more. Probably gonna have to put up 2 more. Okay, let's give this one a little color on the areas not near the that's perfect. It's really not gonna hurt the plants, the plastic foliage. I try to make all of my scatter reversible. When I say reversible, I mean front or back. You never know when you create a map where you want something or how you want it to look. So I do the same thing with houses. When I have buildings for towns and villages, I make sure to make both sides different. And that way you could have a storefront on one side and a farmhouse on the other or something. This one needs a little bit more. Same with the bases. Except for the ones that are kind of difficult, like the fire plane, because I had to dig that out and pour the quote lava into those. That was a unique one. But the current one that the Banana Brothers are on, the plane of Earth, the reverse side of that, I believe, is dungeon tile. And on the reverse side of the city in Greymouth Point that you saw, Dust, the one that you played on the reverse side of that is the wintry one. So I could just flip them upside down. Okay, so we're done with that dry brushing, and now we're going to I'm not even gonna wash that out. I just stick it back in my brush bin. We're gonna pick out the colors for each one of these. I didn't want to throw colors on every one of them, like this different colors on every one, so in case something unique. And I also realized, and this is why I made that printed out that background, is I couldn't use a green screen because a lot of the foliage that I'm using is green and it would disappear. All right. I also have these tall ones, and they're gonna flop over because typically the water in an aquarium would hold them up. So what I'm gonna have to do is glue them kind of together like this, and maybe attach them via a wire. I don't know. I'm gonna save these and use these maybe independently in the corner or something, and then I can kind of pin them to the corners of the corners of the ocean. Do oceans have corners? I don't know. I have I think I have 2 of those, so that's perfect for the 2 corners. Okay, and the other thing I had, I didn't put it on here, are these shells. Fishing line, yeah, I could do that. I could definitely use fishing, or you know, I also use clothespins if they're off camera. You can kind of see those. So shells are tricky because these are kind of big for this, although the monstrosity I plan to throw at them, I'll show you that in a second. They're going to be quite large. They're going to be huge or gargantuan creatures. So shells in this situation about that size wouldn't be bad. And maybe ones that are this size I could somehow not bury, but just sort of give an indication that they're not as big as they are. Maybe like tucking it in like that and just having that part stick out. But these other shells that are smaller, I think they look fine. So I've got my glue gun all ready to go. Of course, I only use Surebonder. They don't sponsor us, but they should. Oh, I didn't do the little rocks. I have a couple of little rocks to paint. They've got caught up in this mass over here. I'll do those later. So I like this, the way this looks here. So there we go. And these little rocks that I used for the stair steps and around here, these are little bits of shells. You can see the pretty phosphorescent, not phosphorescent, what's the word I'm thinking of? Iridescent? The pearly look to them, like shells. So I could, to match the portal, I could put some of these on the bases as well. So I'll just dump a little bit of these into the lid. And see about putting those here and there. I do like the natural looking colored ones too, but the blue makes sense, and the teals. I think they're just so pretty. So I could just add these here and there. Like that. I don't like the dark. Some on the back, of course. Should I put a shell back there? How many shells do I have? I have quite a few. What else am I going to use them for, right? I like that one. I'll put that one there. Oh, I like that rock too. Shiny. This is the fun part. Doing the finishing touches. Perfect. One down. Okay, so let's get some blue. Don't have any blue yet. I do like this one. Maybe that one can go in the middle. So because this has the beige base to it, I'm going to pull these out. Well, I say I'm going to pull them out there. I may have to use my pliers. There we go. Add those back in. And what I'm going to do is then use my smaller pliers, or actually I'll use my little, where'd I put it? Oh, I used it to I used it to open a can of paint when I painted my shelves earlier, so I'll just use this paintbrush. I'm going to poke a hole here. Fill it full of hot glue. Oh, my arm's in the way, sorry. And push it in there. There we go. There. Put a shell under there. This one can probably use a big shell. Excuse me. No. Ooh, yeah, like that. Oh, I like that. Actually, I'm going to put the paint on here. Or paint, glue. Directly onto that. And this will... There we go. I like this rock. Let's put this rock on here. Alright, what other colors go along with this blue? Some sort of green. I think I need green in all of them. A little bit anyway. Let's get some blue. Let's see. We haven't used this one yet. That's kind of tall. Well, how about this little yellow one? Tuck it in there. Yeah, like that. Save that base. I'm gluing these to each other here because they're two separate pieces, and then I'm gonna put a big splotch of it there and then just sort of hold it in place. There we go. Let that dry. Doesn't really have a shelf, a good enough shelf for a shell. A shelf. Whoa, that hurt. But we could put some little ones around the edge there. Little pieces of shells. I know my hand's in the way, sorry. There's really not a good camera angle for crafting unless it's over my shoulder. Well, let's get a blue one. That's good. Just two. I don't want to overdo it. Okay. There's the next one done. We do orange. Alright, we'll get this shell in there for sure, because that's a good hiding spot to kind of hide how big it is. And yeah, I do like the orange one on that one. Yeah, they're gonna be big, but like I said, the creature that I'm planning to throw at them is going to be a huge or gargantuan creature. So it falls in line with the size of the shells. And, you know, plane of water is magical. They grow big shells there, apparently. Let's see, what other color should go with this one? Ooh, I like this. No, it's too similar. How about this blue? Maybe not all of them. Oh, here's one. Here's one. We haven't used this yet. But you know what? These are too big. I need something smaller. How about these? And I'll cut them down a little bit. Oh, there we go. I'll cut it right there. And put those just below. Get rid of that tip right there. There, just a little bit like that at the bottom there to give it some blueness to it, like that. Blueness, that's a word, isn't it? Blueness. And let's see, how about this shell at the bottom there? Kind of ties it all in. Ooh, I like it there. I'll put it there. Oop, I need more glue. I use the mini wireless glue gun from Sherbonder for most of my projects. I have all of them, but this is the one I use the most. Let's get that in there. Put a blue over here. Teal. A little bit of teal over here. There we go. All right. Let's see how it looks on this side. Oh, it needs more color on this side. Let's go ahead and add another blue one to that side. Just inside there over the shell. Then it looks coordinated. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I'm getting there. Got 3 done. There we go. Some of these just can have maybe a shell on them. They don't have to have the foliage. The foliage and what's cool about it is can stand alone. Like that could just go on the terrain like that and not have to actually be attached. That gives the DM an opportunity to rearrange how they'd like. There we go. Does it need something on there foliage wise? What haven't we used? We haven't used, let's see, we haven't used that blue. Or, oh, we haven't used this green. I like this green. I wonder how many of those I have. I bought 2 packages, miscellaneous packages, so some of them may only have one of a kind in them. These look like they're all one of a kinds. This one too. Which I'm glad. I wanted some variety. So, okay, so what I'll do is I'll use the smaller one. And I'll just use a bit of green on this one. So I'll pluck that off. And maybe put that in there like that. Just have it there. And then maybe put another shell on this side. No, that would be too much. We'll just do some smaller shells on that side. Ooh, I like that blue. Do that blue one and that brownish one. Maybe that one. Perfect. So the idea I had for the end boss in the Plane of Water, I was going to sort of copy, emulate Little Mermaid and make it a octopod style creature with two companion baddies. So I looked it up and I found a storm giant princess. Banana Brothers, if you're watching, that's not written in stone. And then have two sharks as her companions, sort of like Ursula and her Flotsam and Jetsam. Oops, that's really glued in there. I guess I won't use that. So I thought I would do that. So the Storm Giant Princess, I don't have that many, but I can make it. And the sharks, I believe I can maybe get at the dollar store. I like this green. I'm going to use this, a little bit of these two greens here to put with this red on this one. Put one on one side, one in the middle, and one on the other side. So that's what I'll do. A cephalopod? Yes. If that's what they're called, yes. But it wouldn't be Ursula. It wouldn't be a eight-legged humanoid creature. It would be a storm giant princess stats with maybe some underwater lair actions. And if you haven't seen it, when my brother Jamie, who plays Beaufort on Banana Brothers, and I were together one time a couple years ago, we crafted a... Was it a couple years ago? My goodness, it's been a while. Yeah, like a humanoid kraken, but I haven't decided. That's what I'm trying to go with. We made... he taught me how to make fire giants out of dollar store ninjas. When I say dollar store, I mean you could buy a set of 4 of them for $1. And these are the plastic action figures. They just come in a plastic bag in the toy section. And essentially, we turned this, using all sorts of techniques, into this. You can see the hands laid out the same way. In fact, I realized I removed his sword. I created a sword just out of wood. When I removed it, it took the paint off, so you can see his red hand here, like his buddy there. So I thought I could use that same technique that he showed me for making the fire giant and make this into a storm giant princess somehow. So maybe that'll be my next stream next week. Or tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to stream next for crafting. I do like this red. It shows up great against the gray background. Ah, stay in there. I'll get that green in there too, but I need a shell. I don't like the dark shell. I want it to show up against the background. There we go. Oh, I'll tuck that one in like that. Good, 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 good. Ah. If you haven't seen that episode of the Fire Giants, it's one of my favorites. With Beaufort, we had a great time. It was hysterical. It was very funny. We sat side by side and crafted. Then we went out to eat. It was fun. Yep, I'll put that right there. That's perfect. They have faced a kraken somewhat before at the beginning of the story. A kraken attacked the Raven's Pride as they left Ravenscroft to go to Tarathiel. And it was a young kraken, but sure did give them the put the fear in them, because I think they were only level 4. It was funny. The veteran players were freaking out. You're sending a kraken and we're only level 4. It was awesome. It was a young kraken, but still, young krakens, they can do some damage too. They escaped. They escaped. All is well. They had a little help. The captain was there. They had some ship's archers were there. They did okay. And the mama kraken called her baby home, so they didn't defeat the kraken, but they didn't die either. I'm just adding things here and there. Nothing. Everyone's going to look a little different. I think I'll leave this one alone. I think that one's just going to be all by itself. Maybe on the map I will place something like that near it. But I don't think it needs anything added to it. Maybe it's something that would appear in the middle of the map. Abanoth? I could look it up. Abanoth? Do I even have D&D Beyond up on my other PC? I mean, up on my other screen? Let me look. Abanoth? Abanoth. Let's look it up. No, I do not know what it is, and apparently it's not on D&D Beyond. Okay, what color do we need next? We have orange represented, some purpley blue, green for sure. This red and pink, more red. How about yellow? This yellow, I think, would be perfect on this small one because it's a smaller. Ooh, and some of this yellow maybe with it. I added it here, but I think it'd be fine here too.
Quickly! Someone go get Rainick! He's waiting in the foyer by the bureau with his Legos!
Hey, Rainick. I can't believe I got Jimmy to do that. What a greeting. I'm glad you could join us today as I craft. Quickly! Someone go get Rainick! I use this a lot in my carving. It is, I don't even know what the tool is called. I think it's just a sculpting tool. I use it for dotting, and I use it for carving. The most recent is the carving I showed you guys yesterday of the Granlin gnome houses that I've been working on. It really carves into the foam insulation well. But I'm going to use it now because apparently now I can't find the paintbrush I used to poke. But I'm not going to use it to poke holes in my creation. Yeah, Dust is here. Chief is here. Tessa from Nerdsmith is here. At least lurking. I don't mind lurkers. Glad to have friends around to keep me company while I craft. I've been watching Squid play Ark Genesis. That game looks crazy. played it back in March. That game looks crazy. We played the original Ark, and it was tough. I can't imagine playing Genesis. At least not alone. Ooh, that looks pretty. But like I mentioned yesterday, I was thinking about, or the other day, doing a Qyjari games one late afternoon and just do some survival games and see how long I last. Maybe not Ark Genesis, but original Ark maybe, I don't know. Train some dodos. Some dilos. Try not to die. Yeah, I think he mentioned that he did, and I think it was the original. It wasn't any of the... Well, he said he tried them all. I think he tried them all. I don't know about Genesis, because that was released... That was a DLC this year, but I don't know about the other ones. Ooh, that looks pretty up there. That's a good spot for that rock. Yeah. I said I was going to add some of this other yellow to it, but it may not need it. Maybe in the center there. Ooh, no, I have an idea. I like these. These caught my fancy. I'm going to put one of these green ones in the center there. Again, the reason why I can't use a green screen during this episode. all my foliage will disappear. Yeah, that's a perfect touch right there. Okay, what have we got left? We've got these two solo ones. And the rest... This one needs more color. This one needs something else. I know I just put that little one on there. How about some pink? I haven't used these yet. I have to use these pink ones. Why am I talking in such a high voice? Oh, that's perfect. I'm so glad I changed my mind about that. Again, I am gluing all of these together. I took them off their stem and they separate into 3 separate units, but I just stuck some glue on. They should all stick together. Oh, that's much better. That pops. Okay. The neighborhood dogs are barking. Usually how I get when I talk to babies. Alright, you know what? I'll leave some of these out, so when I put the base together that you guys can see, I'll use these as extra scatter. Alright, let's do this. Let's put it all together and check it out. Where's my bag? I had a bag. Oh, it's way over there. I'll just dump it behind me. I really need to, again, rearrange my craft and stream area. It is a crowded disaster. Okay. Paint over here. Everything's being stacked behind me. Okay. ASMR rocks. Alright, let's get the base up here. I did that yesterday after the stream. It was a boring stream. I wouldn't have streamed it. It was a boring build. Just the typical, you know, dotting a 30 by 20 piece of foam insulation and then painting it. Nothing exciting there. Okay. Here we go. So there's our base. And I picked out, like I said earlier, this pretty background. So now it looks like we're in an aquarium. I know you can see over here, but ignore this part right here. And here's the portal. Clover and I worked on portals before. They should enter. We'll have them enter right here. And that'll be the portal out as well. Alright, here we go. Ooh. Get some shells. Here's the blue and orange. Does it look like under the ocean? Imagine there's one here too. And then we can place these in various locations to kind of fill it in. That'll be one in the center. And then these will be over here. I'll pin these up on the... Oh, you can't see it. I'll pin it up here using a... You can't see. They do look like high quality aquarium. That's what that was the whole purpose. Alright, well, imagine that's pinned there. I'm not going to pin it now. Let's get some blue in here. There we go. What else? More of this red. I like the red. Put that there. How about there? This green tucked back here. Perfect! And then shells in varying locations. As scatter, not there. 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 I like it! What do you guys think? If you like it, do command smashing. And let me know what you think. Let's see if I can move this camera and you can see the whole thing. I'm gonna mess this up, but... My chair's in the way.
Simply smashing!
It is simply smashing! Thank you! There, that's a better view. Alright. We have the underwater scattered... I'm making you all dizzy, aren't I? There we go. Underwater scatter done! I just need to print out 2 more right and left side to the barriers here, and come up with a creature using our little ninja here. I guess I'll put the camera back so you don't get dizzy. There we go. And come up with a storm giant princess, and I'll go to the dollar store and get a couple of whales or sharks as her flotsam and jetsam. And that will be our plane of water. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Thank you for chatting and keeping me company. I really appreciate it. And I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow or not. I'd have to come up with a project, but I do have the plane of air that I have to put together, so maybe I'll do that. And I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.